Hi, I'm Erik Linask, coming to you from IT Expo West in Los Angeles, California. Here with Andrew Silver, founder and CTO of Tango Networks. Andrew, welcome. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Erik. Appreciate the opportunity.
So I know you were part of a session, a conference session on mobile UC. So great place to start. What are you seeing in terms of mobile UC?
So really, the mobile UC space is just starting to make its inroads, and really, what we've tried to do in Tango is we've tried to address the space a bit differently from the general market, in the sense that we're really trying to figure out a way to take the enterprise adoption rate, which today is about 90% of employees have desk phones, but only around 18% have mobile phones. And we want to change that. We want to really figure out how do we get that number from 18% mobile phones up to the 80 to 90% range. And the way to do it is we've got to figure out a way to work with any mobile phone. And in order to do that, we've got to build an ecosystem that works with not only the telecom equipment manufacturers and the PBX manufacturers, as well as the enterprises, but also the service providers. And so our solution really embraces bringing in the service provider. And the way we do it is to enable any mobile phone, is that we take the client out of the mobile phone and we put it into the carrier's network. So that's essentially the difference. And the result is you can use any mobile phone, and we enable the enterprise to control it.
What's the draw for the carrier in working with you and something like that?
Good question, Erik. So the net is that carriers today are, they want to keep the high-value enterprise customers that have the highest ARPU, and obviously churn is a big killer for them. So really, if you sort of mimic what's happened in the landline space, once a company picks a landline provider, they pretty much stay with them for 8 to 12 years, 7 to 12 years. But in mobile, we've got this churn rate much, much higher. So if we could figure out a way for the enterprise to be able to offer, to receive service from a carrier that's connected to their landline network, essentially their PBX network, that uses mobile phones, the churn rate typically will change from the order of 2 to 2+ years in order up to 7 to 12 years. So that's really what this is about, is trying to give the carrier the solution to give to the enterprises that will keep them on their networks. And that's the essence.
Are there specific features when you talk about mobile unified communications that people are looking for?
Right. So, the first thing is to say, look, the IT department wants to be able to use any mobile phone, because it's just too much of a hassle to have to upgrade everybody to specific smartphones and all this. But then what are the features? And basically, employees want to be able to dial the same way they always dial on their desk phone. They want to be able to dial the short codes, the long codes. They want to be able to transfer calls between their desk and their mobile, join conference bridges on the real conference bridge that's being used by their company. So that's what we enable. And we enable that on any mobile phone, with or without a client, out of the box.
So in addition to working with the carrier community, you also then need to work with the PBX vendors.
Exactly. So our solution is a federated design, which means that we have one box that goes into the carrier and one box that goes into the enterprise. The box that goes into the carrier is essentially, it's standardized, and it connects to all the different kinds of PBXs the same way. The carrier doesn't know any different. And that's great for the carrier, because they don't want to have to deal with all the different kinds of PBX systems. The box that goes into the enterprise is where we have the specific integration through resource adapters that we develop for every version of every manufacturer's PBX. We actually purchase the PBX, we develop the resource adapter for that particular version, and then we test and certify it.
There's obviously a whole host of new mobile phones, smartphones coming out of the market. It seems like almost on a weekly basis. Mm-hmm. How is that changing the mobile unified communications game?
Well, it just, really you have to put yourself in the shoes of the IT guy. All these great phones coming out, they're all exciting. You got Android, and you've got the new iPhone that just came out, and this is great, but it's a nightmare for the IT department. The fact is that the end users want to buy whatever phone they want to buy, and if you have a reliance on, we talk about that there's actually many different operating systems, and if you have to develop clients for all of these, it becomes a nightmare. So really, if you can help the carrier provide the enterprise with a service that works on any phone, take the client out, put it there, then the users can pick whatever device they want. So the nice thing we like to say at Tango is the new Android phone that's coming out next week, we support it today. The new iPhone that's coming out next year, we support it immediately. No client required, just dial the way you always dial. And that is what removes significant burden from the IT department. If you want to go after medium and large companies, small companies can afford to upgrade everyone to a smartphone with Wi-Fi and dual mode and a particular version. Everybody gets that, and adding a data plan and all this. But if you want to go after companies that have hundreds of thousands of users, or even tens of thousands of users, and mobilize the entire workforce, you can't make the mobile phone be the limiting factor for the IT department.
Makes sense. We've been talking about mobile unified communications with Andrew Silver from Tango Networks. Andrew, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Erik.